Reddit, what is the happiest fact you know? Otters hold hands when sleeping so they don't drift away from each other. I'm checking Google for a picture now. Edit, so cute. Guess that's why they are called otters. Potatoes can be prepared literally dozens of delicious ways. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. Potato yes. What's taters? Precious? Shrimp can be in more ways. Shrimp soup, shrimp stew, shrimp and potatoes. Shrimp is the fruit of the sea. You can barbecue it, boil it, broil it, bake it, saute it. Days up, shrimp kebabs, shrimp creole, shrimp gumbo. Pan fried, deep fried, stir fried. There's pineapple shrimp, lemon shrimp, coconut shrimp, pepper shrimp, shrimp soup, shrimp stew, shrimp salad, shrimp and potatoes, shrimp burger, shrimp sandwich. That's about it. The West Wing. A few years ago, Voyager 1 crossed the termination shock, 8 billion miles away. Voyager, in case it's ever encountered by extraterrestrials, is carrying photos of life on Earth, greetings in 55 languages and a collection of music from Gregorian chants to Chuck Berry. Including Dark Was the Night, Cold Was the Ground by 20s bluesman Blind Willie Johnson, whose stepmother blinded him when he was 7 by throwing liners his eyes after his father had beat her for being with another man. He died, penniless, of pneumonia after sleeping bundled in wet newspapers in the ruins of his house that burned down. But his music just left the solar system. Penguins only have one mate their entire life. They also propose by giving their mate a pebble. They work hard on finding the best pebble and give it to their lady friend. Somewhere in the world, this happy Methodica exists. On the day of his assassination, Martin Luther King Jr. had a pillow fight in his motel room. You have no idea how badly I want this to be true. Somehow I feel like that makes me a bad person. That you hope he had some goofy fun before losing his life? Nah. It's a good way to spend part of your last day. Termites chew twice as fast when listening to death metal. Metal. Wood. Termites. By your powers combined, I am a structural failure. Despite high infant mortality rates and lower life expectancies, not one of your direct ancestors died childless. You, and your offspring if you have any, are the product of tens of thousands of years worth of successful sexy time explosions. No pressure guys. If you fake laugh long enough you will start to laugh really hard. It's like inducing fake happiness. My boss just had us do a team building exercise yesterday where she made all of us laugh at the same time for 1 minute straight to show us that it does actually turn into real laughter. I sat there thinking how ducking weird it was. It made me feel weird. My dad always used to say act enthusiastic and you'll be enthusiastic. I can't fake laugh for the life of me, though. Poor meatballs live in the spaghetto. That's not happy, that's sad. I feel sorry for those poor souls. Cows have best friends. For some reason it makes me happy knowing that if a cow is having a bad day she can sidle up to her best buddy and feel better. Well, now I can't eat my hamburger. Sniff, from now on, it's double patties or nothing. No need. They are both probably in the patty together. On the 1st of April, 1957, a BBC News program ended with a 3-minute segment about a spaghetti farm in Switzerland. In the segment, spaghetti, not being a popular dish in England at the time, was said to grow on trees. Many people believed the report and called the BBC to ask how to grow their own spaghetti tree. The response, place a sprig of spaghetti in a tin of tomato sauce and hope for the best. They showed that video in my science class and everybody was laughing at it. One girl speaks up and says, "Stop laughing guys. At least they're doing it the old-fashioned way and not with the machines they use today." Something like 100s of trees a year grow as a result of squirrels forgetting where they buried their nuts. More than 100s. Many trees almost solely rely on that mechanism to spread around, the reason being that nuts that fall next to trees don't have enough sunlight to grow into mature trees. In fact, squirrels forget where they hide the majority of their nuts. They don't even try to remember where they hide every nut. Source, I'm a biologist. That it's possible to walk through walls. Not likely but possible. Yeah, they are called doors. Puffins mate for life, make little homes in the cliff sides to have their young in. The best part is they make a side room for a toilet. You don't even have to mention any of that. Puffins are 100% natural happiness. I mean seriously, look at this guy, he's awesome. Baby puffins are called pufflings. That tomorrow I will wake up with food in the house. I know it's simple but I find that happy. Update: Kevin 77 died in his sleep and never woke up to a house with food. Cancer death rates down 20% in past 20 years. At the same time, video game usage is up over 300%. Coincidence? This is terrible news. Sex causes cancer. Last month, I asked my dad if I could get a tattoo. He told me to get it somewhere that didn't matter, so I got it done in Oklahoma. Credit for the joke goes to Jamaica. A group of flamingos is called a flamboyance. Just thinking about that puts me in a better mood. A group of unicorns is called a blessing. A group of in-laws leaving the house is called a blessing. Of all the primates, the human penis is among the largest. Not me, I've got a tiny little wiener. Charlie and the waitress from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia are married in real life. As a D and Mac. The hot pharmacist in the DENNIS system episode is Dennis' wife in real life. I guess they never separated entirely. There are good people in this world. I like the simplicity. Humans laugh before they know how to speak. Our sense of humor is one of the first things we communicate to the world. Laughter is primal. A prison in Washington pairs up death row shelter cats with select inmates as part of a rehabilitation program. It seems to be a pretty wonderful thing for both the inmates and the cats. I watched a program about inmates training seeing eye dogs. The inmates were all violent offenders. It was amazing to see how their sense of responsibility and self-worth went up as a result of the program. Many of them said that they felt like they were making amends for their past wrongs by helping other people in this way. Only inmates on good behavior were allowed into the program and all of them succeeded in their duties except for one out of hundreds. It was wonderful to see people who could have done such horrible things in the past could turn themselves around with the help and love of dogs. At one point in time, the atoms and everything and more importantly everyone in the universe were together as one. We were all and still are one. Through that point in time. Get away from me, bro, I need my personal space. None of the facts I know have moods. They just sit there, being facts. That fact is depressing. Someone should tell it to stop it and be more polite. For someone, somewhere in the world, today is the most amazing day of their life. The fact that ocelot kittens exist is good enough for me. Oh my god, that is adorable. 500,000 tons of dog excrement are dumped annually on the streets of Paris. This should make you elated, because duck France. Ha, take that France. You smell like poo. A dog doesn't care if you're bad at sports. A dog doesn't care if you weren't cool in high school. A dog doesn't care if you don't have many friends on Facebook, or don't have any friends at all. A dog doesn't care if you can't play guitar, or cook, or know how to fix a car. A dog only cares that you care about it. Dogs are awesome. Apollo 17 astronaut Gene Cernan, the last man to walk on the moon, promised his daughter he'd do something special for her that no other little girl would have. He'd write her initials on the moon. After he parked the lunar rover for the last time and headed back to the lunar module, he took his sample excavator and wrote TDC, his daughter's initials, next to the rover. The initials are still there today, and will probably last about 50,000 years if nobody shows up and drives over them. One day, everyone I hate will die. There is always a food you haven't tried. Yeah, but it's lutefisk. The island of Zakynthos is one of the few places in Greece whose Jewish population entirely survived World War II. The local bishop and mayor, when asked by the occupying Nazis for a list of Jews on the island, provided a list which included only their own names, Mayor Kara and Bishop Christodoulos. The islanders successfully concealed the 275 Jews on the island. The miles traveled by the Apollo 11 crew to the moon were greater than every exploration mission to the New World combined. Makes you think how much is out there for us to discover. Saw the doctor Friday. The readings for my cancer are heading the right way. There's a type of jellyfish that lives forever. Source, QI. That doesn't make me all that happy. Yeah, it just means that the same doucheback jellyfish that stung a plesiosaur stuck around long enough to have a chance to sting you too. Duck those guys. My awesome wife still has no idea she is way out of my league. That fact always makes me happy.